This city has beaches, mountains, and a laid-back vibe, and a lot of our viewers told us we would love it.
So we spent some time there to find out, and what we discovered might surprise you.
Welcome to Da Nang, Vietnam. This city sits right in the heart of the country between Hanoi to the north and Ho Chi Minh City to the south. It has a population of around 1 million people, so it's a good blend of city convenience and those laid-back beach vibes.
The currency is the Vietnamese dong, which is $1 to 25,000 VND. So you could drop 3 zeros and multiply by 4 to get the amount in dollars, or you could just use a calculator app, which makes it a lot easier in my opinion.
We arrived in the afternoon, and getting through the airport was quick and easy. It's small and well organized. The airport's located in the city, and it was only about 15 minutes to our lodging, which was over by the beach.
We stayed in an apart hotel across the street from the beach on the north end in a less touristy part of town, and it was a great location. We walked or took short grab rides everywhere, and we had reliable internet. It was 400 meg. We splurged for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, which was $61 a night. That would have been double or more in most places that we've stayed, so we felt like that was a really good deal.
There are much cheaper places in other areas of Da Nang, but we were there during Tet, which is the Lunar New Year, and so the lodging prices were quite a bit more, and also the building being an apart hotel also was more expensive.
We were on the fence about staying during the Tet holiday, especially me, because I read that everything closes down and you may have a hard time finding groceries and things like that, but that was not the case at all. We were pleasantly surprised. There were some small businesses that were closed, but a lot of places were still open, especially around the tourist areas, so we did not encounter any issues, and it wasn't that crowded, so I felt like it was the perfect time to be there and enjoy all the decorations and the customs. We did hear that Hoi An was a lot more crowded, so we decided to wait until after the holiday to go there.
One thing that shocked us about Da Nang was the weather. After we had just been in Thailand and Cambodia where it was hot and humid, we got off the plane in Da Nang and it was chilly and cloudy and rainy. During most of our stay, it was only in the low 70s or upper 60s, and it did rain almost the entire first week we were there, so we didn't actually get out and do any of our filming until that second week of our visit.
I really enjoyed that first week. I didn't mind that it was rainy because it wasn't so bad that we couldn't go out at all, but it was a nice break for me to have a break from those temperatures because I had been sweaty a lot over these past few months.
Crossing the street is an adventure in Vietnam. You just kind of have to go with it and hope that everybody goes around you because nobody really stops at any intersection. It is somewhat walkable, but like other places we've been in Southeast Asia, you're going to be walking in the street quite a bit, and it's very common. And the sidewalks, I think they should just call those side parking because they're usually just covered with motorcycles, and the restaurants will go clear out to the curb, and auto repair shops, they just take up the whole sidewalk. So you're stuck walking in the street most of the time.
There weren't as many motorcycles as we noticed in Phnom Penh and some of the other areas, so that part of it was kind of nice because it wasn't as noisy, but there also weren't any of the Grab tuk-tuks, and I have had so much fun taking those tuk-tuks around Siem Reap especially, and Phnom Penh. It's very easy to get a Grab. They are all over the place. We only had to wait a few minutes every time we called one, and it was very affordable.
In terms of safety, Vietnam is ranked a level 1 for the travel advisory by the U.S. State Department. They're ranked 41 by the World Peace Index, and that is right between Greece at 40 and Albania at 42.
Yeah, we felt very safe walking around. Felt safe day and night. We actually did go out in the evenings quite a bit. It's a very family-friendly area, and the locals are so nice and welcoming and extremely helpful. And you're going to find a lot of tourists and expats from all over the world, so you're also going to hear English being spoken around because that is the common bridge language.
Yeah, we were surprised by the number of English speakers, including the locals. When we first got there, I asked our host if we would experience any anti-American sentiment while we were there, and she said, why? And I said, why not? And she said, I don't understand. Why would that be? And I said, because of the war. And she says, oh, that's in the past. We just don't even think about that now. She's like, we live, in the present. All right, now let's talk about everybody's favorite topic. That is food and restaurants. And I got to say, it's really affordable to eat there, especially to eat out. And I think it might actually be cheaper to eat out than it was to cook. We went out to dinner one night. It was like $10 for both of us to eat dinner. And we stopped on the way home at the store and spent $50. And it only lasted us a couple of days worth of food.
I do think, though, part of that was the coffee, and it could have been the chocolate bars I bought.
Yeah. The chocolate addiction is pretty expensive in Vietnam.
But there's a lot of grocery stores. We shopped at the small local grocery stores. Actually, one was a local chain called Moon Milk, which still had a nice variety. It was a bit of a scavenger hunt to find everything we need, but it was not an issue. And what was nice is that we were able to walk everywhere.
We did go to one of the big grocery stores like a Hypermart, and it was so packed. We made the mistake of going on a Sunday afternoon. It took us forever to get there because there was so much traffic. We could barely move around in the grocery store. It was so full of people.
It was nuts. It was like the day before Thanksgiving in the U.S. It was crazy.
No, it was just a random Sunday in Vietnam. There's a nice variety of restaurants too. We found it very easy to eat out there. And like I said, it was super cheap too. We ate at all different kinds of places: Vietnamese, Indian, Thai. What are those sandwiches called that we ate?
Banh mi, I think. Those are so good.
Those were really good. They're like a grilled hoagie.
What's nice too is that the restaurants cater to all sorts of special dietary needs. So if you're gluten-free, for example, they've got you covered.
All right, Amelia, let's talk about the things to do and how we occupied our time while we were there. And the beach is a huge draw for Da Nang because it's super long. It's pretty much as far as you can see, and it's pretty wide in spots too. Some spots are kind of eroded and coming clear up to the retaining wall, and they're kind of repairing that and making it so that the ocean doesn't steal the city back. There are a lot of people there laying out, surfing, walking on the beach, and just really enjoying themselves.
The beach is gorgeous and the sunrises there are spectacular. So that was a really popular activity for people to get up at the crack of dawn, literally, to watch the sunrise.
It has a really nice boardwalk that goes for miles, and we walked on that quite a bit. There's shops and restaurants along there so you can enjoy the ocean breezes while you're eating lunch or having coffee. And they have exercise equipment too, so you can exercise if you want to do that. It was a really popular place to just go for a walk.
There's plenty of things to do at nighttime if you are a night owl. We're not huge night owls, but when you're in Southeast Asia, you got to go out at night. We ventured out with our friends Frank and Mai. Hi, guys.
Hey, guys.
And we had a lot of fun. It was a little chilly. I was surprised by that. But I think that in general, a lot of the times people go out at night to escape the sunshine and the heat of the day. We went out and visited some of the night markets, and since we were there during Tet, we got to enjoy the beautiful city lights that were especially decorated for Tet, but it's always lit up at night, and wow, the bridges are just fantastic. I love all the lighting.
Yeah, it's known as the City of Bridges, and the coolest by far is the fire-breathing dragon bridge. It also blows water, although I'm not really sure. Maybe it's to put out the fire. But you got to be careful where you stand on that. You want to be upwind unless you're wearing a rain jacket, because when the water goes off, all the people on the other side got drenched.
Yeah, I think there were a few people who were surprised, but some people were well prepared, and apparently that was part of the fun for them. But I enjoyed being on the opposite side. That was a fun thing to do. The bridge is really cool to go see in the daytime, too.
One of the most popular things to do, and several of our Grab drivers told us we have to go see Lady Buddha. It's the tallest statue in the country, and it symbolizes peace.
It was a short 15-minute ride from our place, and it was free to enter and well worth the visit. You can go whenever you want to. It's such a beautiful area. It's very peaceful and relaxing. There's lots of wonderful statues, including the Laughing Buddha, and there's just a ton of beautiful temples and grounds. So if it is crowded in one area, it's very easy to find another spot to go and get away from the crowds and just sit and relax.
Yeah, you have great views of Da Nang from up there. It was pretty hazy the day we were there. Didn't film very well, but that's all that humidity coming off of the sea. It's also great for photo ops, so you might be running into other Instagrammers and TikTokers while you're there, so watch your step. And if you're lucky, you might see a monkey.
The locals also recommended we visit Bana Hills, and that did not disappoint either. It took us longer to get there. It was about an hour drive from town, but it was a nice, comfortable drive.
When you get there, you have to check in and get your ticket. Then you take a cable car ride up. And man, that was a fun ride. We had a car all to ourselves and just really enjoyed the scenery from up there. It isn't free, but it was affordable compared to other places around the world that we've been to that are like that.
Our first stop was to the famous Golden Bridge. That's the one with the hands that I think most people call the hand bridge or the bridge with the hands.
Yeah, we got a really good look at how bad the air quality is from up there. You could just see this orange haze hanging over the city below us. It was a bit shocking. We knew the air quality was pretty bad after a couple of weeks of being there, but to see it like that was a bit shocking.
But it did not deter us from having a good time. The place is like a theme park, and the theme is France. I loved going through the gardens and seeing all that French architecture. It made me think that we were back in France.
Yeah, what's the funny thing, those signs everywhere, it said it was all done by German hands, but built by German architects. I thought that was funny. The Germans came over there to build a little France in Vietnam.
The place itself has a wide variety of attractions and entertainment, and it is very family friendly. And there are some dining options. Well, there's actually a lot of food there, but not a lot of options for specialized diets. So if you have a specific diet, you may need to bring your own food.
Yeah, that's what we did, and we're very thankful we did. Actually, one of the people we met in Da Nang told us that they don't have a wide variety of food there, so we came prepared. You've been warned.
On the south side of the city is Marble Mountain, which is another popular place to go on the way to Hoi An. We didn't actually stop there, we just enjoyed the mountain while we drove by. You can take an elevator or hike up to the top and enjoy the views.
But Hoi An was the real point of that drive. It's a beautiful ancient town. It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. It has a mix of styles, including Chinese, French colonial, and Vietnamese.
It was pretty crowded, but that is not a surprise because it was a beautiful day and it was just so pretty with the water and the lanterns and the flowers and all of the colorful buildings.
We think it'd be fun to go stay there for a longer time because we were just there for the afternoon.
Yeah, it's definitely a different vibe and a different feeling altogether than Da Nang, and it's nice that they're so close so that you can enjoy the yin and the yang of the two cities.
Yeah, it was warmer there too. It is inland a little way, so we didn't get those nice sea breezes that we had in Da Nang. So we were sweating it up while we were walking around that town.
If you want to be a little bit outside of the main tourist area or the busy areas, you could stay on the other side closer to the rice paddies, and that part was really beautiful as well, and it was neat to see that in person. We even saw a water buffalo.
Before we talk about a couple things that really shocked us about Da Nang, we wanted to let you know about our free Move Abroad Toolkit. It will help you start laying the groundwork for your move abroad, and it's completely free. So grab yours now by scanning this QR code here or by going to amelianjp.com/toolkit.
And now for a couple things that shocked us about Da Nang, starting with there are no residency visas. I still find this shocking because this is such a popular place for expats and a lot of people have been living there for a long time, but they are living there on the 90-day tourist visas and then going and doing a visa run and then coming back, which is not something I would be totally comfortable with.
Yeah, me either. And also, the visa process wasn't easy for us. It actually took almost a week to get our e-visa approval so that we could go there. We thought that we were going to have to cancel our trip at one point because we weren't sure we were going to get our visas in time. So make sure you plan ahead and apply for those visas. I would say give it at least 2 weeks, if not like 3 weeks or a month before you're planning to arrive when you apply for that e-visa.
Yeah, that's one of the downsides of us flying by the seat of our pants when we do our travels. We wait to the last minute. Another thing that shocked us were all the construction sites. There are a lot of projects that are either underway or they have been paused or they are completely abandoned, and some of these are in like primo location.
One of the reasons why our Airbnb was cheaper because the view outside is of an abandoned high-rise building. It was supposed to be a Holiday Inn, but apparently it stopped during the pandemic, and the city has a lot of those kind of abandoned pandemic era projects. That was shocking to see. Another shocking thing was all the trash that we saw. We were really surprised to see so much litter and just trash on the streets. And finally, the flags were a little interesting as kids from the 80s, with the hammer and the sickle. It has a different connotation for us growing up during that era. And I think it just really shows how much times have changed, that we're out touring this country that has that on their flag. I like that. It makes me feel like the world is just so much more open now.
So what do you think about Da Nang as a place to visit or live? And would you be comfortable doing those tourist runs? I would love to know.
Yeah, if you're doing that, please explain how it works below to you. apply for your visa ahead of time and then give it a week? Do you stay outside of the country for a week? How do you do it? Because we're really confused by how that would work for Vietnam, given the challenges we had getting our visas.
So, JP, what do you think? Is it a place you would want to live? I know how you feel about doing the tourist run.
No, I wouldn't. I don't know. The tourist runs, it's a no-go because of that. I would not want to put down roots in a place where I could only stay for 90 days and then have to do these visa runs. I wouldn't want to do that. There are other places I like better. I did like it there. It's beautiful. I liked the boardwalk. It was so affordable. I really liked the low cost of living, and we were able to stay in that really nice place that would have been double the cost in most of the other places that we stayed. And the people were so nice. English was common. It has a lot going for it, but I'm just not sure I'm willing to commit.
Yeah, I agree with that. KL is by far my favorite place that we've been to so far in Southeast Asia. Not that we're done visiting this part of the world, but I would not want to commit to living there. I am really glad we went. The people were fantastic. The beach was gorgeous. And I like the fact that the airport was so close. After traveling around and having it take us over an hour to get to our lodging, it was really nice to have such an easy commute to get in and out. And the fact that the airport was so easy, and it's got a lot of international routes. So that is a huge plus if you are thinking about living there.
Yeah. All right, guys, before you go, be sure to download that free Move Abroad toolkit. Also, leave us a like. That makes us really happy. And thank you so much for watching.
We'll see y'all next time.
Ciao.
Ciao.